Peter Schrager apparently has inside information. I love this. Like, instead of asking, no, but Peter Schrager's cool. But instead of interviewing, I think he was on the Pat McAfee show. Instead of interviewing someone who was at practice and asked what Trey Lance looked like, he asked someone who could ask someone what Trey Lance looked like. And Peter Schrager said from what he heard, Trey Lance blew everyone away. Yeah, I was blown away. It's true. But Peter Schrager heard it too. Peter Schrager has a direct line to John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. So it means that the Niners are at least starting to privately say how much they like Trey Lance, if not publicly yet. What do you think about Peter Schrager's comments?
I think what he said multiple things, right? He said one of the things, he made leaps and bounds as a leader.
Yes.
In the locker room, right? So there are a lot of things going on here to me, and maybe I'm going too deep with it, but I almost think this could also be related to Jimmy Garoppolo. And the reason I'm saying that is because in order to make Jimmy look good, you can't say he's being replaced by a average quarterback, right? You got to say the reason why Jimmy has to go is because Trey Lance is freaking amazing.
True.
Right?
Great point.
Now Trey Lance, in my opinion, has a super high ceiling. But when they're saying that he made leaps and bounds as a leader, I don't think anything necessarily changed with Trey. It's that the situation has now changed, right? He didn't really get an opportunity to go out there and compete.
He got the green light. He got the green light. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right. So, as you know, you're a 19-year-old kid coming in. You got Jimmy Garoppolo, who's been there 5 years, been to a Super Bowl, NFC championships, and they're not even giving you a real chance to compete. What kind of leadership can he even show besides his work ethic at that point? So the leaps and bounds as a leader, it's just because the situation has changed, and now you're able to see who Trey really is.
Absolutely. And I think that's what the Niners can point to again when they ultimately cut Jimmy Garoppolo. They can say, look, the trade market wasn't there. It would have been there a few months ago. It wasn't there this late in July. But one of the nice things that happened because of all this was Trey got this whole dry run in OTAs and minicamp by himself, where Jimmy was gone. Not just like not on the field, but not in the facility. And it allowed Trey to become not just a starting quarterback, but the leader of the team. And he flourished. We didn't anticipate him flourishing that much. And we just felt, why go back? This is clearly what he needs. Let's stick with it. And, we didn't anticipate it, but we're reacting to the evidence in front of us. And this is clearly the right course of action. Thank you, Jimmy, for everything. You are now free to go 4 months too late. I think that's what we're seeing is the Niners, like you said, not only are they like preparing, like they're preserving Jimmy Garoppolo's trade value by saying Trey's great, but they're sort of preparing people for the inevitable release. Like, hey, Trey has, even though it's only been practice, Trey has shown us enough.
Yeah, and I think I would agree. But everything I've seen from Trey, he's definitely got it as far as being a leader of men. He holds himself accountable. Everyone says he works harder than anybody there. He studies more film than anybody there. In his press conferences, even in his first 2 press conferences, you were there. He's holding himself accountable and saying, I got to do better. Jimmy never did that. So everything about Jimmy, his ceiling is so high. I honestly think.
One more thing too about Trey, I feel like he really embracing the role as the face of the franchise. Really embracing it. You know what I mean? You can see in his press conferences, he's not combative with the press. He's actually setting an example for the rest of his teammates who are all much older than him on how to deal with the press, which is exactly what the starting quarterback has to do. It's what Alex Smith did.
Yeah, he's very smart.
Yeah.
Very mature. I think the only thing that's not still to be questioned with Trey Lance is, does he have it? Right? He has all the talent. He has all the attributes, the mental part, the maturity, the intelligence. He's huge, right? But what we've seen, like the most successful quarterbacks in the NFL, they just have it, right? Tom Brady didn't have all those attributes that Trey Lance has, but he just has it.
Right? Let me try to define it real quick. It is what Debo has, Jerry Rice had, Steve Young had. It's that Eddie Bartolo had it. It's that supreme competitive nature. The not just the will to win, the desire to win, but the obsession, have to win. And never felt that way about Jimmy, ever. We grew up with Steve Young, and you grew up with Joe. I grew up with Steve. They had it. Jeff
Yeah.
had it. Garcia
Yeah.
had it. Never felt that way with Jimmy. Feel it with Debo for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
No,
what
I have my own
I don't
theories,
know
and
with Trey. I guess we'll have to see. He hasn't competed that much.
yeah, I have theories with that. It may be too off the deep end, but I feel like part of that is how you grow up.
Yep.
You know, is everything kind of been easy for you? Has it been handed for you? Or did you have to go out and overcome everything? You know,
He
and
had to overcome a lot. He didn't go to Ohio State. He didn't go to USC.